Espero que el juego no sea bien fuerte porque no le he hecho pruebas. Y está como siempre, técnicamente. Oiga. Vale, solo quiero que sea un directo corto. No me encuentro en condiciones, no puedo avanzar. Necesito farmear más para el Nuzlocke. Y lo del Animal Crossing quiero pillar cosas para terminar la isla, la ciudad Oasis. Así que bueno, vamos a... Entonces se me ha ocurrido. Voy a hacer la historia extra, que es de Jane. Que no lo he hecho. Así que bueno, es una buena manera de aprovechar la ocasión. Voy a bajar esto un poco, el volumen del juego, porque es que recuerdo que este juego siempre me toca bajarlo un poco. Un poquito. En el Colosseum sí que me toca bajarlo bastante. Vamos a ver. Tengo entendido que dura 50 minutos, o al menos he visto vídeos de 50 minutos. No me sé lo que dice en la historia, pero bueno. A ver... Espero que no se oiga muy fuerte. ¿Vale? Hazañas de Jeanne. En las hazañas de Jeanne la partida se guarda de forma automática en ciertos puntos. No es posible guardar manualmente. Vamos a ver. Que por cierto, voy avisando. Es posible que sea el miércoles en el que mi hermana bajó a Doom.
We have heard the tale of an unlikely friendship between a young witch and a lost demon. But there is a secret chapter hidden in its pages that remains untold. This is a story of two young witches who are joined by a powerful bond. From this time forth, it must forever remain a secret, never to be repeated.
Am I back in the forest? Huh? Cheshire? Where are you, Cheshire? Where am I? Cheshire? Cheshire, where are you?
Ostras.
Trapped within a strange void, Ceresa had been petrified by a mysterious force. And as for Cheshire, he was nowhere to be seen. Could this too have been the work of the fairies?
My thanks. The fairies' power resonated through your memories to guide me here. I'm surprised that one so young was able to resist my power, but I shall have you before long.
Cereza! Oh no. I figured she could handle that forest without my help. But this power is unlike anything I've ever felt before. It goes against all Umbran teachings. But I have no choice.
For years, this young girl had protected Cereza, always being sure to watch over her from afar. Her name was Jeanne, and she too was an Umbra witch, just beginning her training. Unlike Cereza, Jeanne lived in the Umbra witch village. Though forbidden, she often snuck out to meet her rival. The two never missed a chance to compare strength. Jeanne had been warned about the risks of soul projection, but that stayed her hand nary a moment. For she aspired to surpass Cereza and become the strongest of all the Umbra witches, a goal that allowed no room for cowardice.
I swear, that girl likes to keep me busy.
Jeanne's technique split her soul from her body. She flew towards Avalon Forest.
I'm sure of it now. Something is afoot in this forest. And it's not just the fairies. Cereza, where are you?
Jeanne had successfully arrived in Avalon. The forest air was tinged with a vile presence.
So this is the infamous fairy forest. But there's something else here. I'm sure of it.
Pues a ver qué se puede hacer con Jeanne. Pero lo que se vio antes se parecía a Singularity, el villano final del 3.
The Elder would really give me an earful if she knew I was here. Whatever. I'm used to her lectures. Cereza, where are you? That girl. Always getting herself into trouble.
Uy, uno de estos.
What is that?
¿Qué es eso?
As Jeanne proceeded through the woods, she noticed something peculiar.
Is that Cereza's stuffed cat? She must be in trouble. I knew it! As I thought. This is no fairy magic.
Who are you? Cheshire's voice alarmed Jeanne.
Who's there? Show yourself!
Don't play dumb. You trapped me in here, didn't you? Cheshire said as he struggled to break free. But it took all his strength just to keep from being swallowed. He could barely move an inch.
You're a demon. What are you doing there? Where's Teresa?
Teresa? How do you know the girl? Eyes narrowed. Cheshire studied Jeanne with new interest.
I'm an Umbra witch. Apprentice. Jeanne, I've come to save Teresa. What have you done with her? Get out here and explain yourself.
Oh, like I know where that brat is. Cheshire said, trying unsuccessfully to hide the desperation in his voice.
Wait, a demon? Here? Did Teresa summon you?
Jeanne knew Teresa well. Seeing the demon-possessed stuffed cat, she instantly grasped the situation. She thought for a moment, then had a truly devilish idea.
I've a proposition for you, demon. I'll get you unstuck. But in return, you help me find Teresa.
Find Teresa? The demon eyed Jeanne suspiciously.
That's the deal. If you say you'll help me, I'll move you to a body in a less precarious position. I have just the thing.
Jeanne produced a stuffed animal of her own. A handsome red stuffed cat. Compared to Cheshire's tattered felt, its velvet fur had a rich sheen. Nevertheless, like I trust a human. You're all the same. You won't trick me. Cheshire barked at Jeanne.
Fine by me. Best of luck then.
Jeanne turned her back on the prideful demon and prepared to set off on her own. Wait! Cheshire yelled, unable to conceal his distress. And with good reason. In a moment he would be sucked into that void for good. All right, let me into that blasted cat. But if this is a trick, your lunch. The demon reluctantly agreed to Jeanne's plan.
Very well, demon. Now, into the vessel you go!
Pero yo paro de pensar, ¿esto en qué momento ocurre? O sea, en todo momento...
To think this would come in handy here. Demon, speak your name.
I don't have one. The demon showed his gratitude the only way he knew how. An angry roar.
I see. Then I shall call you Charles.
Charles? Perhaps the demon had grown more attached to the name Cheshire than he cared to admit.
What's the fuss? Any name will do, right? Off we go now, Charles. We've no time to waste.
Luego miraré si hay alguna referencia al nombre en los juegos anteriores y en el lore, por si acaso. Jeanne también puede usar brigadas espinosas con Z y le ocurre lo mismo con Cereza. Necesita un gran tiempo de colocación, pero si se usa contra un gran grupo de enemigos puede tener efectos devastadores. ¿Será diferente al de Cereza?
Cheshire was not fond of his new name, but now was not the time. Any protest would have to wait.
Sí, Jeanne tarda más en invocar las espinas, Uy, me encanta el tornado azul. ¿Para los poderes? Joder, es que me encantan muchísimo las llamas azules, ¿eh?
Thus began Jeanne and Jeanne and Charles' search for Cereza.
Ahora una salud entera. Qué bien. A ver esto. Nueva ilustración.
My brave friend, leave now, I implore you.
Uy, ¿yo cómo llego ahí?
Charles, was that you just now?
¿Cómo yo? Espera. Vale, vale, había que desbloquear lo que... No me acordaba.
What are these cracks? Fairy tricks?
Espero no tardar más de una hora, la verdad. Luego me pondré a hacer otras cosas. Completa el Tirnanog.
What is this place? The fairy stench is overwhelming.
Yes, this place is always crawling with them. Perfect for pigs.
Admito una cosa, echo de menos el sonidito de esto,
demon
¿eh?
had learned a few things on his journey, so he took this opportunity to show off.
Joder, se nota que le estoy pillando gana. Vale, con Jeanne se tarda un poco más, ¿eh? Uy, va. Vale, esta embestida es diferente. Eso lo he notado, ¿eh? Y estoy notando que también hago un poco más de daño. No sé si es porque heredo las habilidades mejoradas de cereza o no. Esa es la cuestión. Porque claro, tengo los 4 elementos.
Amazing.
Echaba de menos ver esto, la verdad.
You know that little crybaby.
Vale, la cuestión es, ¿dónde debo ir?
Jeanne suspiciously as he spoke.
Crybaby? Oh, you mean Cereza. She may blubber from time to time, but look past the tears and you'll find a truly spectacular power. Cereza and I have a duty to become stronger. We must protect the legacy of the Umbra.
Uy, como está sonando el ventilador ahora de mi PC, ¿eh? De una manera. ¿Exactamente a dónde debo ir? Es que claro, no puedo ver el objetivo. Ah, claro. Se me había olvidado. Sí, luego aquí. No, será para subir. No, pero aquí hay algún recuerdo. No lo parece. Anda, pero Jeanne puede... usar los... O sea, puede usar esto... pero hacia varios enemigos a la vez. Sí, a varios. Es que me spoileé. Lo malo es que me spoileé es que por culpa de una recomendación de YouTube es de que esta historia de Jeanne tiene que ver bastante con algo de que sucede en Entre. Y por el momento hemos visto a Singularity al principio. Al empezar esta historia.
That said, well, I'm not surprised she summoned a demon into a stuffed cat. And I dare say, you seem to like it.
Like it? I'm counting down the seconds till she gets me back to Inferno. Jeanne thought that Charles's felt cheeks looked more red than usual.
Que por cierto, por aquí dejé la otra vez el... Cuando terminé el... Uy,
Cereza. She's close by, I can feel it.
Vale, Jeanne tampoco no puede nadar,
Charles heard Jeanne, but said nothing. Deep down, worry weighed heavy on his heart. He let
Vale, he
out a
visto dónde
sigh.
es. Uy, ¡no! Vale, pero me lo ha contado, Vale, ya me estoy acordando cómo hice esto.
Go any farther, and you will regret it.
Who's there?
Me imagino que serán 3 de estos. Mira que es una tontería lo de la diferencia que hay con Jeanne. Uy, me ha aturdido otra vez al... Que eso es eso, estoy acostumbrando al ritmo que es con cereza. Para usar las espinas. Pero no con Jeanne aún. Se tarda como el doble de tiempo. Pero se compensa con el área, que eso es lo bueno. Así que claro, yo estoy acostumbrado al timing que tengo con cereza para atacar luego con el César, ¿no?
Amazing.
Que realmente estoy echando un vistazo. Vale. Es que estoy mirando también a un streaming a alguien, porque quizá luego le hago raíz a esa persona cuando termine con esto. Uy, nos hemos teletransportado a otro sitio.
You're hiding Cereza, aren't you? Where is she?
Jeanne's voice echoed through the still forest. Whatever lay ahead would change her fate forever. Jeanne could not shake this feeling. An inexplicable fear began to swell inside her.
Uy, joder, me encanta ese ataque porque es que parece filo del abismo. Este ataque me gusta muchísimo, de verdad. La habilidad de poder cambiar el elemento en mitad de los combos es muy bueno.
Amazing.
Esto no es... Sí, esto fue el principio del juego. Aquí es donde Bayonetta dormía. Sí, sí, luego aquí es el pueblo.
Wait, the crack's here. I can feel Cereza from the other side.
What? The demon's eyes grew wide. What lay waiting on the other side? Had they finally found
Pues
Cereza?
así, ¿qué es esto que hay aquí? Ahí por arriba, porque hay como caras. Esta es la casa de Morgana. Vale, ¿y este sitio? ¿Será combate de jefe? Tiene pinta.
Cereza? It's faint, but I can sense her magic. And she's not alone.
Something put Jeanne's nerves on edge. This presence belonged to no fairy. Look! Over there! Charles had spotted something. Jeanne followed Charles' gaze. She could see a small figure floating in the distance. It was Cereza. She was unnaturally still, frozen by some unknown power. Jeanne looked at Cereza's face. It was as pale as ice.
Cereza!
So close. Whoever was behind this was determined to keep the girls apart. Charles bared his fangs and began to growl. The source of Jeanne's unease appeared before them now. He was suspended in the air, like a fell spectre. Fixed by his gaze, neither dared to so much as breathe.
Este es Singurality, ¿no?
You're the one who was speaking to me before. Who are you?
So we meet again, my brave friend. Or perhaps introductions are in order. Yes, you may call me he who affirms all phenomena.
My, that's quite a mouthful. You're worse than No Name over there. No matter. Anyone crossing the Umbra will pay!
Arch-Eve origin.
Uy, lo del Arquieva.
Continued defiance would bring me to this place. A slight miscalculation, but she will be mine soon nonetheless. And then I will affirm my word.
As he spoke, the spectre's eyes grew crazed. They smoldered with a dark energy. But Jeanne and Charles did not back down.
What absolute poppycock! I won't let you lay a finger on my Umbran sister. Return, Cereza, or prepare to feel the wrath of the Umbra!
Now is the time for all to be affirmed.
Ostras, combate contra el Singurality. No jodas. Y buena, Raúl, no pasa nada. Esto es el postgame. Me está haciendo los mismos ataques que del... Debo tener cuidado porque no tengo objetos, ¿eh? No, este jefe. Ah, no. Pensaba que iba a invocar un jefe.
The spectre opened a scroll and called forth a fairy from thin air. Using the magic of the fairy realm, this technique gave shape to the pain inside Cereza's heart.
Uy, va. Ahora.
Using Cereza's pain? What a cowardly trick! What's the matter? Don't tell me you're giving up already.
He probably tastes horrible. I better swallow him in one gulp. The demon was already licking his chops. But the spectre was unfazed. As he got to his feet, a faint smile crossed his lips.
Si sonrisa, si no tiene boca.
Understand, Jeanne, what will happen if you oppose me?
How do you know my name?
I will show you, Jeanne. Give you a glimpse at what will happen if you continue along your current path.
Jeanne and Charles found they were unable to move. The spectre had them in his spell. A moment later, a torrent of horrible visions began to flood into Jeanne's mind. It was a vision of Jeanne as a grown woman, dealt a fatal blow by an unknown assailant. Stop these stupid tricks! I'll rip you apart! Charles tried with all his might, but he could not move.
Jeanne, I have shown you a vision of things to come. If you do not distance yourself from it, that future will certainly find you. But this fate is not yet determined. Leave now, and it may yet be avoided.
The spectre rose once again. Suspended mid-air, he looked down on them with his piercing gaze. He slowly turned to face Cereza.
Arc Eve Origin, you cannot resist much longer. Soon you will give me that which I desire. Then, finally, phenomenal affirmation will be realized.
Told you. You won't lay a finger on my unbred sister!
Jeanne stood tall in defiance.
Perhaps I was too soft. Witness your cruel fate once more. You too.
That pipsqueak made a promise to me she has yet to fulfill. You can't have her! The beast gave a fierce roar.
Jeanne, you have seen what awaits you, yet still you would face me.
I won't run away. I am going to be the strongest witch of all!
You know what awaits, yet still you struggle.
Bueno, vamos allá. Pues hemos visto lo que le sucede a Jeanne en Bayonetta 3.
Incredible. You managed to plan a demon there. Are you prepared to accept your fate, Jeanne?
Pero en serio, este villano es el que menos me convence de los tres villanos que hay en Bayonetta, ¿eh? Lo digo en serio. ¿Qué? ¿En serio?
Stop playing with her memories, you monster!
Muy bueno el Leviatán. Tú descansa, la salud es lo importante y me alegro que te hayas pasado aunque sea un momento. Hoy yo también me encuentro un poco mal hoy, así que quiero hacer un directo corto. Quiero al menos pasarme la historia de Jeanne y me pongo a hacer otras cosas. Que me he despertado con la alergia, me ha dado muy fuerte la alergia y me ha costado respirar. Y mejórate, Leviatán, me alegro que te hayas pasado. Uy, el dragón. Toma golpe.
Won't work anymore. Come on!
Perhaps I was not clear. I will achieve phenomenal affirmation. The truth of altering that is a statistical impossibility.
The spectre's right hand began to glow with an icy glimmer.
Stop!
Yes, that is what you humans say in the face of defeat. And when those pleas go unanswered,
En serio, este villano no me gusta nada, de verdad.
witness true despair.
No! No! Let go of him!
Charles screamed out in agony. The spectral flames were slowly eating through his body, tearing him apart.
After I'm finished with him, you're next. I tried to warn you not to get involved. It's a pity you will not listen.
Cereza! Wake up! Cereza! Cereza! Open your eyes, you fool!
Impossible. Archeve Origin is under my spell. She will not wake again. Ever.
Cereza! Did you forget our promise? We swore to become stronger, together! Keep your promise, if you've any pride as an Umbra witch. Now's the time to prove it!
The room was flooded with a light as bright as the sun. For a moment, everything around them seemed to dissolve in the radiant glow.
What is happening? I can't imagine. Could she have awakened?
Uy, conserva el accesorio.
The spectre's blood-curdling scream seemed to shatter the air itself.
This is unfathomable. John, you have made your choice. That fate is now immutable.
I will not fear my fate. Whatever may come, I will stand and face it!
His power extinguished, the spectre's body flickered, then faded away. As if in response, cracks and fissures burst all around them, and the world began to crumble.
It's all falling apart. Was this all just his illusion? Cereza!
The color had begun to return to Ceresa's cheeks. She was not yet awake, but from the faint smile on her face, she appeared to be having a pleasant dream.
I think she'll be all right. They will be able to return to the forest. And it looks like my time is almost up.
Jeanne's body had grown faint. Her technique had reached its limit. Her traveling soul yearned to return to her body.
Well, Charles, which will it be?
Which? What do you mean, which? Charles returned with a puzzled look.
I'm asking, will you go back to that tattered doll? Or shall I send you home to Inferno?
Charles blinked incredulously. Home to Inferno? This was something unexpected. Did Jeanne have such a power? For a moment, Charles simply stared at Jeanne, saying nothing. Finally, he spoke. You think I'd trust you with that? Just keep it simple and put me back where you found me.
I see. Have it your way. But come on, you must like that body. Better than the lump of scraps Cereza drags around.
I hate them both the same, Charles grumbled in his usual irritated manner. Besides, you're too rough for my taste. At least the pipsqueak gives me a break once in a while.
That's so.
Seeing through his act, Jeanne smiled at the flustered demon. She used her Umbran arts to grant his wish and returned him to his former body.
Cheshire, there you are. I'm gone for a minute, and you get yourself lost again.
With a peaceful expression on her face, she gave Cheshire a big squeeze. Cheshire sighed and furrowed his brow, but somewhere deep down, he was relieved.
Farewell, Charles! No, Cheshire! And don't you dare tell Cereza what happened here. I mean it!
I don't take orders from humans, but you saved me back there. I suppose I can make an exception this once. Cheshire added softly.
If I didn't know better, I'd swear I was talking to a human. Take care of my friend, Furball. Whatever lies ahead, I'll be ready. I'm going to be the strongest witch of all.
Thus concludes the adventure of Jeanne and Charles. We have seen how Ceresa and Cheshire's journey went from here. But what of Jeanne? What happened to her after learning of her fate? It may not be possible to change one's destiny. However, Jeanne's indomitable spirit and steadfast resolve will surely guide her down a true path. Let us wish her success in her journey and put this chapter away in a safe place. Forevermore, this story will remain our little secret.
No, qué bonito. Has decidido los atuendos Arquieva original, Jeanne y Charles. Ostras, voy a echar un vistazo. Tengo que mirar si se puede desbloquear otras cosas más.
Ceresa?
Bueno, una horita llevo. Perdón. Hombre, maldita alergia. Estoy fatal, de verdad. Vamos a echar un vistazo. Vamos a ver.
Exhausted.
Vamos a ver el atuendo.
Cool! Guess that's okay. Yes! Cool! Yes!
Me he dado cuenta que en el... Me he dado cuenta de que lleva... Si tengo que elegir... Me gusta bastante así.
Cool! Yes!
Voy a llevar puesto el atuendo del 3. Voy a echar un vistazo si se puede desbloquear más cosas aquí, a ver. Ah, no. Técnicamente lo que hemos desbloqueado, lo que hemos hecho es, según me pone, es el final secreto. Tengo pensado. Pero ya está, ¿no? Entonces todo lo que me queda sería desbloquear algo secundario. Voy a echar un vistazo a los archivos. Muy buenas, Denkil. Me pillas cerrando, ¿eh? Que hoy estoy con la alergia. Me he despertado con la alergia y me encuentro fatal, ¿eh? Así que quería pasarme la historia del... De eso. Anda, ¿en serio no sale? ¿Y qué tal estás? Cuéntame. Pues nada, no se habla nada del Singularity. Que vamos con el Singularity. Joder, de verdad. Es el villano que no me convence.
Let's take a break.
Voy a guardar la partida por si acaso. Jope, pues me lo imagino. Voy dejando de grabar para YouTube porque lo voy dejando por aquí. A ver.